everybody, and welcome to Hair the Dogcast. That's right, your favorite podcast about video games and beer and video games and hangovers and Renaissance fairs and Renaissance fairs and hangovers. I am your host, Brad. Before we get any further, we are part of the HyperX Podcast Network. Check out podcast.hyperx.com for all of the other amazing shows on the podcast network. And yes, as I had mentioned, my name is Brad, and I am hungover.
And I'm Tyler, and I am also hungover. The Ren Fair was a smashing success.
Yep.
And I feel terrible.
Yeah. Yep. We had a good time yesterday down in Bristol, Wisconsin, and we had a great time. The pictures I looked at were all fun.
Yeah, I had a blast. We spent a lot of time waiting around either for someone in a line or in the line yourself.
That's what happens when you got a group of 5 people, though. You are going to be in a lot more lines.
Yeah. I was impressed with how many people were there, especially later in the day. There was a lot of fucking people there.
I was surprised none of us got lost from each other. There was definitely one time where Carly was gone for a while and she came back and she's like, I couldn't find the bathroom. And I'm like, oh, it's just right there, right where you were. And she went back. I'm like, how did we not lose anyone throughout the day?
We're professionals.
But yes, this is a podcast about video games and beer. You might be wondering, hey, where is the lovable, sexy-sounding one, Dylan? And he had surgery this week. We haven't mentioned this in the podcast before. I think it was appendicitis.
Yeah.
Yeah, his appendix just got really bad out of nowhere, so he had to get a little surgery done, and he is resting. He is okay, but he has given us the full go-ahead to go on without him and leave him behind.
He should be back next week.
He'll be back next week.
Let's just jump right into it.
Let's just jump right into the news, Tyler. What do we got in news this week?
All right. Well, we'll start it off with it's been 8 years since PT dropped that playable trailer.
Yeah.
That stole everybody's hearts.
Playable teaser.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I haven't heard you talk about PT before.
PT is great. It was Kojima back when he was at Konami.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It wasn't Benicio del Toro. It's Guillermo del Toro.
Yep.
And Norman Reedus was attached to it. So this is before Death Stranding and all that. Mm-hmm. And it's been 8 years, which makes me feel really old because I remember playing the trailer.
Yeah.
And it was scary as hell.
Yeah. And Dylan actually had a PS3 with the demo downloaded.
Like still?
He did, but he sold it because he had to get like surgery for a cat or something or pay for a cat thing. Otherwise, if you actually have a playable version of that now on a system, you can get a fair amount of money because that's like the only legit way now.
Yeah, that is the only way you can play it. Sony has blocked it from the PlayStation 5. So even if you had it, you can't play it on the PlayStation 5. It won't transfer. You can't download it.
Konami has blocked it.
Yep. They also blocked it on the PlayStation 4. And it's been, the only way you can play that trailer is if you never deleted it on whatever console you downloaded it on.
Yeah.
Minus I think some of the 4s it's blocked even still. But it's been 8 years and we still don't have a Silent Hill game.
Yeah.
Which that was kind of, if I remember correctly, that was the idea, right? That this was a playable teaser for a first-person Silent Hill-esque game.
Survival horror something or other. Yeah.
But it is interesting to see how much translated into Death Stranding with the revelation that the girl in the trailer is tethered to you like a BB.
I haven't seen the play. I saw some of the PT trailer, but I don't know a lot of what was going on in the game. It's been a while.
She's tethered behind you the entire game. That's how she was able to like be just so readily available to scare the shit out of you.
Okay.
And the tether, somebody discovered it must have been years back at this point, but made the revelation with Death Stranding that it is a similar concept, but not in its design. So
okay.
Also Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro both are in Death Stranding. So it is weird to see that the bones or the original brain trust behind PT was in or involved with Death Stranding.
Why do you bring it up?
Because it's been 8 years and it was just an anniversary, and I thought it would be a nice little way to start the news.
It's interesting to me. Kojima, I don't think he speaks a ton of English. He speaks some, but I just love the thought of him and Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus all hanging out. And there has to be a translator for some things. I mean, yeah. How do you be homies with somebody and not like share a language? But I don't know. He speaks some English, but I don't think it's great.
He tweeted on the anniversary, which I believe was Friday. He just tweeted like, "Wow, it's been a long time. I can't believe 8 years," or something like that. And Guillermo del Toro retweeted him with just FK, like fuck. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah. What if? We don't know.
Yeah.
It would have been weird and fun.
Well, they are apparently doing another game with Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
Kojima and Norman Reedus are supposed to be tag teaming again.
It's also, that relationship is strange to me too. Norman Reedus is great. I have no problem with him, but like for Norman Reedus to be like, Kojima's like, yes, this is my guy. This is him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's probably a huge Walking Dead fan. It was just like, fucking Daryl.
Nah, maybe.
I want Daryl.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I would be interested to learn how those two got hooked up in the first place. Because I don't think, is Norman Reedus a gamer?
I don't know.
That would be interesting to know.
Yeah, I'm sure he is a little bit.
Moving on. Did you hear about the latest Microsoft Sony drama?
Maybe.
All right, so
not sure.
Last week, Microsoft spent the majority of the week trying to convince lawmakers and regulators that its acquisition of Activision and Blizzard...
You had some tongue twisters today.
And I got through it.
That was impressive.
Microsoft spent a lot of time last week arguing with lawmakers that its recent acquisition of Activision and Blizzard is going to be good for gaming, for the industry, and that it's not a monopoly and it's totally not going to fuck up the ecosystem.
Okay.
We know it's going to. It's a huge acquisition.
Yeah. But that's the name of the game. Acquisitions happen.
Yeah.
People buy stuff. Disney probably should have known everything.
Yeah, I hate that. And Microsoft went about their defense saying that Call of Duty is not an essential game. Call of Duty is not a big enough game to influence consumers' choice on what console they're going to buy. Mm-hmm. It's not contingent on what am I going to be able to play Call of Duty on, which I know a lot of people who only play Call of Duty.
I actually bought Call of Duty Vanguard.
Really?
Like 2 days ago.
Really?
It was on sale for $10 on the Best Buy day sale or whatever. So I plan on doing a Dogcast down the line where we can just shoot the shit about Call of Duty games. I'm like, I just should get it. It's cheap, and Call of Duty games are always fun.
Like my brother, Brett, that's the only game he really plays. He plays like Madden and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
He doesn't play. I don't think he's ever played an RPG.
And those are system sellers. And not only that, you and all of your homies need to be on the same system generally. So it's not just a one system seller; it's a 10 system seller. Yeah, it's a community.
It's going to spider web out.
Yeah.
So Sony said exactly that. They're like, bullshit. It is a system seller, and this is going to be bad. You shouldn't. They're still fighting it, even though they have Bungie and Destiny now.
Yeah.
So neither party has clean hands in this debacle, but. 2 days ago, Microsoft has now, in retaliation for Sony trying to say Call of Duty is essential, accused Sony of blocking games from Game Pass and blocking developers from getting their game onto Microsoft's Game Pass and inhibiting its growth.
Okay.
Which is a pretty big accusation if Sony's paying developers extra money.
Yeah.
But to me, I just felt like that's kind of always been going on, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you don't want Microsoft to do well if you're Sony. So that just seems like a logical step.
It just seems like business.
Yeah. But there's a lot of drama now. And I do think it's very funny that both sides have blood on their hands at this point. And they're like, nah, you did it, man.
Yeah.
It was you, not me. But we kind of answered the question I was going to ask at the end of that. Do you think Call of Duty is an essential game?
Call of Duty is an essential game.
I think
it's one of the tentpole franchises. I'd say if I looked up the top 20 most successful video game franchises of all time, Call of Duty would probably be in there.
They sold like 1 billion copies or some crazy shit with the first Black Ops when I was in high school. It's always been around as a staple in the gaming industry, and I think it absolutely would sell consoles.
I'm going to look this up quick. All right, you can move on to the next thing if you want, though.
EA and the NFL have renewed their partnership for multiple years because God hates us.
Yeah.
I'm a very big Madden fan, and I was really hoping that one day we're going to see the end of this, but with EA's their competitive Madden league, I forget what it's called, the professional Madden players. They're making too much money off that. NFL doesn't want to stir the pot. They're like, yeah, the game sells like gangbusters. Keep making it.
Yeah.
So EA has now the exclusive rights for the foreseeable future because they did not say how long the deal is going for. They are also bringing back college football next year. So there will be college football games back, but that opens the door for 2K because I don't think EA could get the exclusive rights to the NCAA. I feel like that'd be way too expensive, and I just don't think they'd be able to do it.
Yeah. It's still just crazy to me that something as big and profitable as Madden, like, why can't we have multiple video games with the jerseys and the teams?
Yeah.
It's just too dang profitable for them to make low effort. I'm not going to say low quality. I think the Madden games are fine, but they're phoning it in at this point. Yeah. And I haven't played one in a long time. I used to play them back in high school. And there's a lot of money to be made, so EA will keep doing what EA does.
Yep.
Well, I don't know.
It's a sad day for sports simulation fans. We're not going to get a good football game for a while.
You know, let's just bank on the XFL. Whether or not they're good, maybe their games could be fucking good.
Come on, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Something's going on there. I don't think The Rock would put that much money into it with it being a huge failure twice now.
Yeah. Well, they don't have...
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't have Vince McMahon. Was Vince McMahon involved in this latest iteration of the XFL? I think he was, because he bought it a long time ago. But that man's got problems that he has to deal with.
Yeah.
That's also, I didn't have this as news, but it'll be worth keeping an eye on with Vince McMahon stepping down and retiring. Creative is now going to be... Or his daughter Stephanie is going to be the CEO, and she's running shit now. And she's married to Triple H, who is now going to be in charge of creative.
Yes.
And Triple H really came to prominence during the Attitude Era when titties and suck it was all that they cared about.
Yeah, the Attitude Era. You gotta love it. D-Generation X.
Yeah, that's when I was a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
I
think you should suck it.
Yeah. That was their motto.
That was all over shirts all over everywhere. Everyone was just saying suck it to people.
I wore suck it shirts to elementary school.
When wrestling was so pervasive that like it had its own hand gesture that people did in public. I'm sure a lot of people didn't even know that it came from DX.
Yeah.
Suck it just became a thing people did. And it's so funny. Suck it's still funny.
It's a very what's the word I'm looking for? It's a fun gesture.
It is crude and childish.
And I love it.
And it's something I will do to all of my friends forever.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with the games moving forward if creative goes back towards a more mature audience base and content, seeing how the games evolve, because the games were really good back then and even into like after the Monday Night Wars and all that shit.
Yeah.
It might be interesting to see if wrestling games change at all with Vince being out. Yeah,
probably. And I think it's a good thing he's out. I think he's a dinosaur that did a lot of. I don't know what the allegations are. It sounds bad, and I wouldn't want to comment on an ongoing investigation. But when he was like the WWF back in its heyday was the shit. And my brother and I watched it all the time. And so I think it is good, though. It definitely has been on a decline for a while.
Yeah.
And I think he just needed too much control. And Triple H, I saw someone doing a shit post on Reddit, and I thought it was real. It's like Triple H says, all the old rules are back, like this, and we're calling ourselves the WWF again. It doesn't matter. We're WWF. I was like, what? But it was a fake post. But I was really pumped. I'm like, sure,
fucking do it.
But if Triple H is in charge, I think that's good potential. Anyways, yeah,
especially for the fighters, because they are not treated very well, and he's a former wrestler, so maybe he has a little more compassion. Get those guys some better benefits and shit. But from one Vince to another, are you familiar with Vince Gilligan?
I am familiar with Vince
Gilligan?
Are you talking about the creator of Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan?
Okay. I called him Vince Gilligan.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Hangover episode.
For too long. I'm going to refer to him as Vince and just avoid that last name.
Vince Gilligan is one of the greatest television creators today. Yep. Breaking Bad is my favorite series of all time, and Better Call Saul is as good.
I haven't finished Better Call Saul yet.
The final episode is on tomorrow. The final episode of the entire series is tomorrow.
It'll be interesting to see where what they do moving forward, because I didn't think that Breaking Bad could establish a universe and be successful. I was skeptical with Saul, but
they were tasteful. It wasn't like, how did Leia get her holster for her gun? How did Chewbacca get the name Chewie? It's not like them just literally saying, oh, this is how Han Solo got his name. It's nothing like that. And it's one of those things that they do right. It's not about the journey, it's about the destination. And both Walter and Jimmy, Saul Goodman, you watch their characters' trajectory downhill, and you know that they start off as good people put in tough situations, and they get addicted to power and ego, and they become maniacs, sociopaths. It is very fun.
I agree with you. My favorite show, I'm really excited to finish Better Call Saul, but the reason I bring up Vince is because he admitted in a recent interview that he tried to get a video game, a GTA-style video game is what it was called.
About Breaking Bad. And it was either Vince or someone in his camp actually reached out to Rockstar
to make this game.
Yep.
And he's tried multiple times. I know they had a mobile game for a little bit, and there was a VR experience, but it actually turns out Vince has tried to get a game multiple times. But
I'm kind of glad he hasn't got one, maybe.
I think he is, too. I think the momentum of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, because this is, from what it sounds like, it's older, like back closer to Breaking Bad, probably before the inception of Better Call Saul.
Yeah. And I loved El Camino as well, the sequel movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think he's got the mind for it, but not everyone can change mediums. This just reminds me of South Park. Those guys, they weren't really involved in a lot of the early games for South Park, but once they got involved with
Fractured But Whole
and The Stick of Truth, those games are phenomenal. Those are very, very good games.
I downloaded The Stick of Truth on right before I came in today, because I don't even know if you realize this. Perfect segue. South Park's making a new game.
Yeah. Yep.
They announced it with a poop joke.
What was the poop joke?
I only read it as I was walking out the door.
Yeah.
So it's the last addition to the news, but it sounds like the episode with Randy where he's trying to take the biggest shit.
Okay.
You remember that?
It sounds familiar. Yeah, I've seen all the South Park.
Bono holds the record for the biggest shit, and then Randy tops it, and he does it's coming. Yeah, they played that audio clip, and then they just showed a little teaser.
Yeah, that's exciting, and I mean, those two are absurd. Matt Stone and Trey Parker. They did the Book of Mormon. They did South Park. They've won Oscars, Emmys, Grammys, Tonys. They're some of the most successful creators of all time, and they're just taking acid and going to award shows. I love those guys.
Oh my God, I love that interview.
Did you see what they just had the last couple days? At Red Rocks, they had the 25th anniversary concert special. They had Rush there. They had Primus, Fish.
There was Fish and Ween for sure.
Yeah, and they're also just playing Uncle Fucker and all of their classic songs from South Park. It's so funny. And if that's one of those concerts, why did I not hear about this? Because I would have went.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Maybe it was kind of low key because there's so many people that they wanted to invite. A musician buddy of mine from the Twin Cities, he was there. I saw on his Instagram. So maybe it was
more of a closed,
party. If you're cool, you're cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool to go to.
Yeah, I guess they played it last night on Comedy Central, but I don't have that I'll try and stream it at some point. But
yeah, I'm sure it's on the internet somewhere. Last two things. Just last thing, because we covered South Park already. Hogwarts Legacy delayed till February 2023.
That is a thing.
And even later for Switch. But kind of saw that coming. Switch is usually a little later to get those games ported over. But Hogwarts Legacy getting delayed is probably going to bum out Justin, my little brother, more than anybody on the face of the planet. He's been looking forward to that game for a minute.
Yeah.
As was I. I'm bummed. But
It's going to bum a lot of people out.
But at least this way we get a polished game. Hopefully a polished game.
We talked about this very drunk yesterday.
We did, yeah. Why at the joust. We were sitting outside the joust, I think.
Yeah, I would much rather have a completed game than
A broken game.
than Shadow of War.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was the news, brief as it was.
Well, it was good. Very good job, Tyler.
Thank you.
And we're saving one news story for the main topic. Because you missed the biggest news story of all, but I imagine you're saving it.
Yeah, I didn't. I figured that's what we were
That's the whole point of the episode. That was the news. Check us out, like and subscribe, or write reviews.
5 stars only.
5 stars only. None of that 4-star bullshit. And yes, what have we been playing lately?
Actually, I haven't touched a video game controller in a week because I was on vacation. So tonight I'm going to play Elden Ring because it's about time I put my big boy pants on and I finished that fucking game.
Yeah.
I also saw that I read a headline that somebody one-shotted a boss with a faith build. So I'm doing like a minor faith build right now, but it was kind of like that reassurance that I made the right decision when I reading that headline. So I got to get back in there. Atrophy is going to be real bad, though. I'm going to have gaming atrophy.
Maybe it's one of those things, though, too, like you take a break for a while, you come back, and things make more sense.
Or it sparks that passion again, you know?
Well, just going back and thinking about me starting the game and how much I struggle with Margit, I have a feeling I could go in with like that same level character and just spank Margit now because I'm not afraid. Living in fear makes those games much more difficult. So the fact that I beat him once, I'm like, all right, okay. But
yeah,
I've been thinking about Bloodborne again lately, and I think that a lot of it would be easier, and then I think some of the bosses would be much more difficult than I remember.
Oh, did you see the Bloodborne meme thing that's going around based off the Forspoken trailer?
Oh no, I heard the Forspoken trailer, like people were ripping into it.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Okay.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
So it's like the gameplay looks fine.
Yeah.
It's the dialogue. So it shows like the main character
Okay.
and she's doing her normal, like it shows game footage that looks fun,
Yeah.
but then there's this campy ass voiceover that's like, okay, so I'm in a place, but it's not Earth. And I'm fighting freaking dragons.
Oh my god.
And I'm talking to a cuff. And it like shows, apparently she talks to her jewelry.
Sounds like if Guardians of the Galaxy was written by a bad writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then someone took Bloodborne game footage and put like, so I'm in a place that's not quite London. And I'm fighting freaking werewolves. And I'm talking to a doll. And people have just been running with it.
Yeah. The Forspoken didn't look special to me the first time I saw that, like the announcement trailer. Well, that's one of those things, though. Maybe they did that and they realized we need to fucking change.
Yeah.
Get some new voice act. I don't know if you can change the voice actor or you just clean up the dialogue and make it less cringy. But that's one of those things where hopefully you still have time to fix it because people are obviously going to laugh at it. Or maybe you lean into it and let it become a meme game.
Well, it was supposed to come out in October and it got delayed again. So maybe that's what they're doing because my hype train for it has been, I thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
Teasers and everything. Plus, it's like, it was supposed to be one of the flagships for the PS5 to showcase how pretty it's going to look.
Okay.
But it obviously didn't come out in time.
Yeah.
So my hype train has just been a steady decline. Yeah. Yeah. But
so you haven't really been gaming to get back into Elden Ring?
I haven't. I'm going to get back into Elden Ring. I'm going to finish that. And I got the South Park Stick of Truth downloading for funsies. And I also got Hades.
That's a good game.
Hades and Cuphead, I still bounce between when I just need to, play a couple levels or do a run or two. I'm really pumped to finish Hades, though. That's like It's at the top of my list.
So I did look this up before, and most profitable video game franchises. Call of Duty is the 4th most profitable franchise in video games.
So I would call it essential then.
425 million. I mean, it's sold more. It's made more money than Grand Theft Auto, which is crazy to me. More than FIFA.
I was going to say Grand Theft Auto is probably one of... Who's higher than it? I figured Grand Theft Auto would be.
Maybe this isn't... no, these are copies sold. This isn't money. Okay. So, that is not money made. That is copies sold. Call of Duty has sold 425 million copies. Yeah, that makes more sense. Franchises that have sold more copies than Call of Duty. Pokemon. 440 million. Tetris.
What?
But
it's been around for forever.
Mobile game paid downloads 425 million. Physical sales 70 million. It's one of those things where if you include mobile in there, this is maybe not a great list up for Wikipedia, but Mario is the number one.
All right, that makes sense.
Mario 760 million copies, but that includes Super Mario, Mario Kart, Mario Party, Mario Sports, Mario RPG, and other Mario.
Yeah, so
which I like that.
Call of Duty will definitely dictate what system a 14-year-old kid is going to ask for Christmas.
Yeah. Big time. As far as what I have been playing, I've been taking a small break. Actually, here, I found another list. Top 50 highest grossing video game franchises. Call of Duty is number 3. $17 billion.
With a B.
With a B. Mario is number 2 with 30.25 billion, and the most, like the highest grossing video game franchise is Pokemon. It's a $90 billion franchise, but that probably includes some other things in there.
Yeah.
But it started off as a video game, so I think it falls into the umbrella. Yeah, interesting. I need to not play games for a little bit. I have got 2 months till a wedding, and I need to focus in on that. But that being said, Castlevania month is coming in October, so I did dick around on Castlevanias 1, 2, 3, and a little bit of Bloodlines, and I don't think I need to play through any of those games again before Castlevania month. You're going to need to play through some of them.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
And
are we going to talk about the show at all either, too?
We can talk about the show.
Yeah, because I love the show.
And you actually have to read Bram Stoker's Dracula, the whole novel, because it is canon in Castlevania.
That's going to suck. I can't read.
You can't even read. Yeah. It's so crazy to me that is just considered canon in Castlevania.
I love it.
Yeah. Go for it. Not the Francis Ford Coppola film, though.
Doesn't it have Keanu Reeves in it?
With questionable accent, yes.
Yeah.
It's got a great set design. It's a beautiful film. Some questionable things, but
the opening credits are really dope, if I remember correctly.
This Inferno, I'm Keanu. And I'm like, your name is John Harker. You can't say that. You can't say you're Keanu, you're John in the film. But so I played a little Castlevania. I was very drunk last night, and we played Mario Kart Home Life Circuit. Remember the little video?
No, I fell asleep on your couch.
No, you saw the camera with the car going around.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That blew my mind.
That's pretty cool. And I played Hades. I'm not trying to. I did a quick run yesterday before we left for the Ren Fair. I did 2 runs, and then today I've done 3. And sometimes you try and make a build work, and it just doesn't work, and it's really frustrating. I haven't been spanked by the Minotaur and Theseus in a long time, and they got me today.
What build did you use?
I was using a spear, and I tried to just go heavy into attack does like bonus Artemis damage. So you
the reflect damage?
No, that's Athena.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Artemis, you have a chance of crit.
Yeah.
And it sucked. Nothing was good, and I fell apart. And it's okay. I don't really care. But the next game I will play, other than Elden Ring, will be Final Fantasy IX, which I've never beaten. I have played before, and it's a PS1 game, and we are covering Final Fantasy IX for our Final Fantasy game this year, and I have to beat that for the first time. So I will be doing that, and that's pretty much what I've been up to. Yeah. And Dylan has been playing everything, I'm sure. He is at home, not working. I think
Feeling
he's going back today, but I think he has just been getting gaming done. But yeah. And that's what we played. Like and subscribe. Yeah, man. I'm going to grab a beer.
Yeah, I mean, this was my problem yesterday, is they're going down a little too smooth.
I'm going to grab a beer. I'll be right back.
I will say, I really am looking forward to playing video games for 2 days since I was on vacation and I couldn't. And hopefully I don't have to make a new character build in Elden Ring. And I can just beat the game from where I'm at.
You don't have to just always make a new character. It's so crazy to be like, Dylan's like, yeah, I got like halfway, then I just decided to do a new character. I'm like, you were halfway?
Yeah, no.
Just respect.
Commitment issues are a real thing. And I got them too. You know how many characters I ran through before I beat Skyrim for the first time? Like 1,000.
But it's not because the game was difficult, right?
No, it's just because you want to play a certain way.
Yeah, because Skyrim's not difficult.
No. It's just
you have to try to do bad.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I don't know. That Frost Troll murked me the first time I met him, but...
And that's one of those things where it's just like problems with scaling difficulty. It's not even like the gameplay is tough. They're just enemies that just move that slider way too far in one direction. The gameplay, Skyrim's got pretty weak gameplay overall. You're really there about the exploration.
Yeah.
Because it is fantastic, especially in VR.
Oh my God, I can't wait. My brother and Devin both have Oculus.
Yeah.
So I could play it like tomorrow.
Yeah.
If I wanted to buy it.
The VR is separate. It's a separate purchase from the regular game.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd have to
know.
buy it on the Oculus anyway.
Yeah.
So this was in the Discord while I was up in the boonies, up in the UP, and I didn't have cell reception the majority of the time at the camp.
Yep.
Plus, I was on vacation. It was nice to get a little break from technology for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of reading in the Discord to catch up on.
Okay.
And the topic is, I know very little about it.
The topic for today?
Yeah.
Don't worry. I've done my research.
I figured you did.
What else? Let's go into the Discord here. Other news topics. Anthem Studios will release the special edition straight bourbon in August with a spice rum and vodka coming later in September. Assassin's Creed is getting its own whiskey.
You know, I forget that like we do beer too.
Yeah.
Like I could do beer news.
If there is beer news.
Never think about it.
If there's anything like big, I usually check in with Josh and just get his thoughts.
Well, like the Fiserv switching over was a big thing. So like that was on the radar, but.
And beer lawsuits are always interesting. Beer law is fun.
What?
Beer law.
Bird law.
Bird law. That as well, yes. So Assassin's Creed is getting its own whiskey. It might be fine, but it will be overpriced.
Yeah.
At best, it will be fine. It will be overpriced, though.
The bottle is going to look real cool, though, I bet.
No?
They're going to have the... Why not make the bottle the fucking shape of the logo?
Just have the logo be the only thing on there and just be like the Creed. But then people think it's the band Creed.
Which would probably make it sell better.
I think it'll be super limited. They won't really have a lot of this going out.
With arms wide open.
Yeah, that won't sell nothing. Maybe some shitty beer. Yeah.
I also saw that Switch said it's not going to increase their prices, even though manufacturing costs are going up. So the Switch is not going to get more expensive.
Good for them. And screw anyone who goes the other way.
Yeah. We're consumers, damn it. Make it cheap.
Yeah.
Make it cheap.
You can't go up.
It's my console and I want it now.
Yeah. Diablo Immortal Whale, which means an idiot, spends $100,000 on the mobile game, and then he loses access to PvP. Who has $100,000 to spend on this shit?
If you have $100,000 to spend on Diablo Immortal, I don't think you're really worried about losing $100,000. Yeah. It's got to be some rich trust fund kid.
Okay. Well, we're going to hear from some of the other amazing shows from the HyperX Podcast Network. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back to discuss the longest kept secrets in video games. We'll be right back.
For every episode of No More Whoppers that you listen to, we will send you a 25-cent coupon for participating Krogers. How many Krogers are participating? None, but you're still getting the coupon.
And it's like 25 cents in 1985 dollars.
Right, so today that's like
28 cents.
No More Whoppers. Take that to the bank and smoke it.
On the HyperX Podcast Network and nomorewhoppers.com.
Sequelcast 2 and Friends looks at movies and video games and franchises, one movie and game at a time. Hosted by Matt Bradley Shergi, Thrasher, and Alex Miller, been going since 2009, and we're part of the HyperX Podcast Network.
Class is back in session, and HyperX has the grade A gear you need for dorm life, remote classes, and for schoolin' folks online. Shop the HyperX Back to School deals going on now at hyperx.com to help make your return to student life a breeze. Comfortable cloud headsets can keep you focused in as you cram for finals with some lo-fi beats, and stay productive with lightweight pulse-fire mice, responsive alloy keyboards, and more. Keep your GPA and your KDA high with HyperX products and accessories.
Hey, everybody. We're back. Wow. Thanks for sticking around. If you have a chance to write a review, that's cool. I actually don't know if it makes much of a difference. I'm not keeping any of this in. Shit. Hey, everyone. We're back. Thanks so much. Hopefully on that little break, you had a chance to go write a review. Maybe like and subscribe. Helps us out a lot. Get access to bonus content. Check us out on Patreon. I'll tell you more about that later, though, because that's a poorly kept secret.
Yeah.
Our desire for success.
You should definitely be telling all your friends.
You
Don't
should.
keep that a secret.
I mean, have you told your friends about Dylan the Dung Eater?
I don't have friends.
Well,
So
you're a bad example.
Yes.
Yes.
But if you're a normal person,
If you had friends, would you tell them?
absolutely.
Then you wouldn't have friends.
Yeah. They'd be like, he eats what? No, I don't want any part of that.
But in all honesty, please help us out.
Yeah. I told my mom about it.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Today's topic, we're discussing the longest kept secrets in video games. These could be Easter eggs. These could be something developers left in. Could mean a few different things, but I made a list of what are some of the biggest things that show up on Google, on Wikipedia pages, and I did my due diligence, as they say. And so I'm going to go from the shortest to the longest.
Sweet.
So we're only getting longer, okay?
All right.
And we're going to start off with a real classic one to start off the discussion. There's a video game called Adventure for the Atari. And this is the very first Easter egg ever created. Some of the employees, there are several programmers, David Crane, Larry Kaplan, Alan Miller, and Bob Whitehead, all left Atari due to lack of recognition and royalty payments, and they formed Activision as a third-party 2600 developer. It's fun to just think about Activision that long ago.
Wow.
Making many hit games in competition with the Atari, but unbeknownst to anyone, Robinette, where do we have this guy's full name? Robinette embedded his name in the game in the form of a hidden and virtually inaccessible room displaying the text created by Warren Robinette. So he essentially left something in the game, didn't tell anyone about it because he thought he should get paid more and wasn't getting proper recognition, so he left his name in the game. And it took about 9 months before someone found this out. Robinette, he kept the secret for more than a year, but that was before the game came out. Even after all was said and done, here I am stalling. I haven't really done this much. They did find it. A 15-year-old from Salt Lake City discovered it and sent a letter to Atari asking about it. Robinette had already quit the company at this point. So Atari tasked designers with finding the code. They found it, and the employee who found it said, if I change it, it's going to instead say fixed by Brad Stewart. And he wanted to change that. But the cost of creating a new ROM, mask, or memory chip was around $10,000 at the time of the game's release. So it would be costly. So it just stayed in there, and it created the first Easter egg.
That's cool. I like that he was like, if I fix it, then I'm just going to...
The other guy's like, oh, fuck you. I'm going to put my name in there then.
Yeah, because that's cool. Mm-hmm. 9 months, though?
Well, I mean, it got released.
That's kind of surprising because if it's the first Easter egg, like nowadays people destroy games looking for Easter eggs. Like the plot goes to the wayside, functionality to the way, like they're looking for broken rooms.
They can go in the back end now, which changes things today because people can just open up a game and look under the hood rather than just having to go explore and find stuff.
Yeah, but a 15-year-old finding that in 9 months, that's actually kind of impressive.
15-year-olds don't have lives, though. This is true.
Yes.
I didn't.
Neither did I.
I played a lot of games back then because there was nothing else to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of Halo.
Yeah, the good old days. So, yes, that was, I don't know if it was number 14 or 13. I don't know how long my list is. I'm going to count quick. All right.
The suspense is killing me.
That was number 14. All right, number 13. Coming up next year, we have Grand Theft Auto 5. This secret took 2 years and 4 months to discover. And I don't even like saying the words out loud because your phones will hear me say it and we'll all be put on lists. But it's about a cell phone bomb in the game. And discovered by Twitter user at Karma Ingram 1. There's secret phone numbers that can do things in the game. If you dial a certain phone number, it connects you to black cell phones, which for whatever reason triggers an explosion up in the air above you.
What?
And this wasn't discovered for a long time. And I guess people didn't know about it for a long time, and they were able to look in the back end and see that they didn't see it in there before. They're not sure if it got patched in, maybe, but. Yeah,
with the amount of people that play that game, that's a long time for something to go unnoticed.
2 years, 4 months. Yeah. So that's cool.
Wait, it would just make an explosion above your head?
Just like up in the air. It might be like calling in a strike or something. We don't know what it does. But yeah.
I thought it was going to be like some watchdog thing where you can call a number and then if you see someone talking on the phone, walking down the street, because that was one of the few things NPCs could do. And make them look realistic. It would just like Life Invader, that guy, like you do from The Mission, where you change out the prototype and then he blows his head off on live TV.
Great.
Yeah, I figured it would just be something like that. That'd be cooler.
Yeah. Number 12, we have Nier Automata. This one took 3 years and 10 months to be discovered. We're not talking about the recent thing that wasn't a real discovery. But this is, yes. You would input a certain code after beating the first boss, and you will skip to the end of the game, even getting achievements and stuff. Some achievements that way.
Wow.
Yeah, you skip to the final moments of the game. The code is only able to be used after defeating the prologue boss, Marks, and then after talking to 9S, you'll need to place 2B between two sets of barrels in the empty boss room while holding down R2 on the controller. You need to press up, down, up, right, left, square, circle, triangle, and cross in that order. I almost wanted to just say it wrong to see if someone would be upset, but I didn't. You'll need to keep 2B between the two barrels, but you can pause the game and use the cheat code. You skip to the post-credits scene. You just skip everything. This code was found by modder Lance Mcdonald, who discovered the code while reverse engineering the game. While he usually focused on unlocking developer tools in the game, he found a string of code that was unfamiliar to him. He's discovered other secrets in more games like PT. So that's kind of cool. Yoko Taro acknowledged on Twitter that someone found the last secret. That is the last secret in Nier. So
that game is tapped out of Easter eggs.
There shouldn't be more of them. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. Like, what would honestly be the chances of someone doing that sequence just randomly?
No. That's why it has to be done by speedrunners and modders, anyone who's going in the back end of the game and looking at the code. That's why we're finding things from old games now. It's like, how did we not know about Super Punch-Out? And that was a fairly simple one. We'll talk about that here later. But number 11, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Wii U.
Yeah, that's that one right there, right?
Yep, that's that one right there. Signed by the great David Wise and Kevin Bayless. Thanks, guys. I don't know if Kevin signed that. Kevin signed the poster. I should have him sign that. But Tropical Freeze, this one is 4.5 years. Shane Marcus is credited as the first person to find the hidden Metroid in the game. There is a little Metroid in the level Amiss Abyss, level 4-3. You go about halfway through the level, reach a checkpoint, and if you swim forward and then turn back, just in the background, a little Metroid will swim up the background. You can see it. And there's the lore implications, my God.
Universes are connected.
I mean, if I wanted to be a dummy, I could. I'm pretty sure Metroid takes place in the future, so the fact that there would be a Metroid in the Donkey Kong timeline, I don't even know what year Donkey Kong lives in, but they have a lot of modern amenities. Like, they have TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Close to present day, I would assume then.
Yeah.
Or obviously.
In
right
an
now.
alternate universe. Yeah. If you can explain why Donkey Kong and Metroids would be in the same game that isn't a Smash Brothers, write in. We need to know. Yeah. Number 10, we got Resident Evil 4. This one took 12 years to find. Getting longer. This one was dumb. I didn't even like reading about it, but it's on the list, so I can't adjust the numbers now. There's a cardboard cutout found originally by a YouTuber called Slippy Slides. I like that. The egg in question is almost impossible to even notice. Wasn't found for 12 years, of course. Just after the section where Mike crashes the helicopter, eagle-eyed players can spot a figure in the distance. Using another camera hack, you can see that the figure is a man in a green jumper, and it's just like a cardboard cutout, and it just looks like a developer or something. It's in there. So, number 10. I got it today. I'm shooting 3-pointers from downtown.
Nothing but net.
Number 9, we have Animal Crossing, your favorite game about home management. 17 years this secret took to find.
Damn. That secret is almost graduating from high school.
Yeah, yep. We're almost buying cigarettes now with these secrets, but
Yeah. Well, no, you gotta be 21 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, I'm even in South Dakota?
Well, who knows?
What about casinos in South Dakota? Because there are no rules in casinos.
No. Yeah, there's not. Who knows? But I know.
I remember smoking cigarettes inside a casino and like buying alcohol at like 4 a.m. And I was hanging out Trampled by Turtles in Duluth, Minnesota. Like up in Minnesota.
Well, when there's no clocks or windows, how are you supposed to know?
Yeah. I was like, whoa.
I've been here for 3 weeks. What?
I managed to win 3 times and lose like almost all the money that I won.
You know, last time I was at a casino, I saw somebody playing slots and they won like, I want to say it was over $10,000 on a slot machine.
These things happen.
And she freaked out. We didn't see the win. Like, I was with my family. We didn't see the win, but we saw like her bank thing at the top because it's one of those giant arcade looking ones, you know, that are huge.
Yeah.
And she won. So she was talking to somebody. She's like, yeah, it's great. And then we went and got food or something. We went and did some other shit for a while. And then we came back. She had lost all of it.
No.
She was down to like $600.
Why would you do that?
And it's like, if I double my money, I'm done for the day. I'm like, cool.
If anything, I would allow if I won 10,000 and I put like 20 in the machine, I would allow myself $20 to go spend. Save the rest.
Yeah.
You did good. But you know what sucks about casinos is it's just instant. They make a big noise. But you know what's great at arcades when you win, at least the ones that still have the old school tickets, when they just print off tickets and everyone can see you getting like 10,000 tickets printing out. I'm like, yes, it's embarrassing. Sorry, guys.
Were you the kind of guy that just let them fall on the ground, or did you like hold them and let them fold themselves? You know how people used to do that, so they were all organized.
I like to be more messy when I win,
Same.
So I would let that shit go crazy.
Yeah,
and then I would neatly organize it afterwards. But I want everyone to see it coming out.
Yeah.
Like,
look at what I've done.
I have done this. Yeah, I used to win a lot of those games back in the day. I still love them. The non-video game arcade things where you're just like,
hell yeah,
stop the button or stack the squares.
Stop the button is my favorite.
Stop the button.
Yeah, it's addicting because you get like one light away.
Well, it's
like,
also cheating.
Yeah, you have like a point.
I've seen YouTube videos where the guy like actually brings in a machine that is perfect. And it's like, no, it's still random.
Yeah. Or that one where you build the blocks and you could win a PlayStation or something, you know, where it was like the 5 blocks and you had to try and stack it all the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's rigged.
Shit's rigged. Yeah.
Not skee ball, though.
I think it's on number 9. We'll call it number 9. Animal Crossing, yes. So there are NES games, NES systems inside the game on the GameCube, like in Animal Crossing. And I know you can play like Excite Bike and golf, but you'd only be able to play like the one game that came with your NES in the universe. But you can get an NES that doesn't have a game. You should just give an error message like you want to play your Nintendo, but you don't have any software. So James Chambers discovered he was like in the back end because that's the only way we find these things. If you have ROM files stored on a GameCube memory card, it will play any Nintendo ROM file. You actually have to get it onto the GameCube memory card, which is the tricky part. But then if you have like any Nintendo game on there, you can play it.
Play game within a game?
Game within a game. Because it's just a fully functioning emulator. And speculation is that they would have potentially released like memory cards that would come downloaded NES games on them or something like that, but it never happened. Instead, it was just this weird quirk. But yeah, there's a fully functional NES emulator in Animal Crossing, which is kind of cool.
That's nuts.
Super nuts. That was 17 years. We have 2 more in the 17-year category. I didn't want to do the extra math to know which one was early. They're all 3 in a row. These next 3 are all 17 years. So, yep, they're all the same.
I mean, you don't have to do the math. They'd be in the same grade.
Yep, they're all doing great. Number 8, we have Donkey Kong 64, a game that I will never play. And do people like it? I don't think so. If you like it, write to us. We want to hear from you. If you think that's a good game. I watched an hour-long video the other day that was describing why Castlevania 64 is better than like Ocarina of Time. And I was like, wow. I love mental gymnastics. Like
that is a stretch.
That guy is just going for it. He's like, actually, this is good design. And I was like, whoa, my man. I was blown away.
That's subverting expectations right there.
I was impressed. And he was like, even like, I do admit it's not perfect, but still better.
It's like whenever anybody goes, all right, hear me out.
Yeah.
Like whatever they say after hear me out is utter bullshit. And the only way you're ever going to believe it is like, hear me or keep an open mind.
Yeah. Keep an open mind.
Hear me out.
It's just, yeah. But the nostalgia and the way that game hits someone, there's a perfect storm for that person to think Castlevania 64 was great. But speaking of shitty 64 games, which is all of them, just kidding. Whoa, don't write in. Donkey Kong 64, there was a hidden coin found 17 years after the game was released.
A hidden coin. Was this back end found or like found?
Well, Isotarge first noticed something was amiss after looking at how the game formats its save data. They were looking at the flags in Fungi Forest and noticed that the information for the rainbow coin was incomplete. So they used analysis tools to shoot right to the dirt patch, and they discovered a hidden coin in the, like, you have to like ground pound or something, and it just shoots a coin up. And people went crazy. Like, they were in the streets. They were freaking out. Donkey Kong 64, they found the 977th coin. And for one day, world peace was real.
Yeah, except for the riots that followed. They were flipping police cars and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That was bad.
That was, I mean, Lanky Kong fans.
Ugly.
Reasonably outraged.
Yeah.
Number 7, I think, is the number we're on. Silent Hill 2. This is another 17-year-long break between secret discoveries. And we're at number 7, which, think of that, we're already at 17 years.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's pretty cool. A save anywhere and mini-map function was found 17 years later. This can only be used after you get the dog ending. To get the dog ending, you need to either have unlocked the in-water leave and Maria endings or the rebirth ending. Once that ending is unlocked, blah, blah, blah. You actually, I haven't played the Silent Hill games, but
I played this one for a while because my friend had it, but it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
As a kid, I was like, nah, not my jam.
I'd love to see Kojima really do a scary game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but their secret ending is like a dog behind security cameras that is doing everything. It's like a joke ending. But yes, after you do that, you can enter a code in a certain spot, and you unlock a mini map and a save anywhere feature, which must be pretty great. That would have been helpful.
Yeah, save anywhere for sure.
And just having the mini map, that's cool. Number 6, moving right along here. We're going on to Doom 2. 24 years.
Damn.
24 years. 100% level 15 industrial zone was thought to be impossible. They thought there was no way to get it. With some qualification as to what the secret really is, they weren't sure. It's secret number 4 on map 15. Now, the area in question has been known, seen, and accessed by other means. Getting to it without a cheat appears to be deliberately impossible. But what happens is you need to get 100%, you need to use find every item, use everything in the map. And there's a teleporter that would take you out of the map, and it's instantly takes you out, so you don't actually get the percentage for the teleporter because you're just through it and you're gone. So the trick is you actually have to lure an enemy into the teleporter and push them into it, and that unlocks the percentage for you. Romero tweeted out congratulations to the solution's discoverer, Zero Master. And yeah, people were in the streets again. Video game secrets are very popular. And I don't know where I was when presidents get elected, but I know where I was when Doom 2 had this discovered. And it was in my room. It was today. I found out about it, though.
Yeah, they're a big deal. That's actually what the FBI was looking for at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah,
they were looking for video game secrets.
A cheat code book that is for presidents only. All jokes aside, scary shit. I think everyone's enjoying the circus. It's terrifying. Nuclear secrets.
Yeah. I'm scared, so I joke.
Yeah, me too. It's still funny, but it's also it's Dr. Strangelove. That movie was made a long time ago. It shouldn't be present right now, but it is. We're still there. Number 5. Oh yeah, Street Fighter Alpha 2.
How many years we got?
It's 24 years as well. So I think this one is officially. Doom 2 might have been longer. It's that they're almost the same. So they're both in the same grade.
Yeah. Well, at 24 years, they're in college.
Yeah.
Getting their masters.
Yeah. Smoking weed, a lot of weed.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Doom guy's probably more like methamphetamine.
Romero's a rock star. he was a rock star. Street Fighter Alpha 2, you can play as Shin Akuma. Shin Akuma. It's one of those names I haven't said out loud too often, so I'm second-guessing myself. A popular modder by the name of Gizaha, that might be wrong too, was digging into Street Fighter Alpha 2's code when he came across a series of inputs that unlocked Shin Akuma, known to Japanese players as Guki, an unplayable character who served as a hidden boss. To use the character, players needed to take the top spot on the game's high-scored leaderboard and then input the initials KAJ. When back on the main screen, hold the L, X, Y, and start buttons on the second player controller. Blah, blah, blah. You can play as Shin Akuma. Totally Unbalanced was potentially just there so developers could play test him. But, yeah, another groundbreaking secret brought to you from the Dogcast.
Yeah, blowing your mind.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 4 left. Number 4. Super Punch-Out!
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's the new one.
That's the new one.
That's the inspiration for this episode. And the other inspiration was we have to do an episode.
Yeah, it is our duty.
It is our duty, our fiduciary duty. We know you're driving places. We know you have lives, and you need us. Or at least you've put up with us for an hour. So thank you. This secret, number 4, 28 years. 2-player mode was recently discovered in Super Punch-Out. And that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Well, I guess what's crazier is it's not a game I played a whole bunch. We did that episode on it, and I have memories of it, but I just always assumed it was 2-player, I guess. And then after the episode, obviously, watching some videos and stuff, it's not. So to think the secret was not a secret, and then now it is a secret, my brain went full 360 on it.
Yeah. While doing some request work, someone casually found some new cheats. Now, this is from the person's Twitter. I didn't write the name down, though, but They found some new cheats in Super Punch-Out for the Super Nintendo. Secret codes in this game use 2 button combinations. 2 of them have been known, sound test and Japanese name input, but there are 2 more. At the title screen, hold Y and R, and then press A or start on the second player controller. The following screen will appear instead of regular menus, where it shows little profile pictures of all the enemy wrestlers. And yeah, if you have the second player controller, they can choose to fight as any of the enemies, which is really cool. I'm surprised that wasn't included. Like, if they were maybe just doing it to like test the opponents, but it sounds like a fun mode.
Yeah, I wonder why it wasn't a mode.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just there for playtesting or maybe they were thinking about it and they're like, no, we just can't. But
yeah,
I mean, it's also whoever's Little Mac is just Little Mac, though. You don't get to choose.
So player 1's just Little Mac, and then player 2 is the world's your oyster.
The nature of the screen, because you have your Little Mac up there and the big guy, but looks cool. I haven't tried this. I could do it on my Switch, but I didn't want to do it by myself because I would need 2 players, and I just trust the internet. If they say something works, I just trust them.
Yeah, I do almost no research into anything anymore. Just blindly believe you.
Did you hear? They're getting rid of Choco Chocos? I was like, no shit. We should just go to the store. They probably still have them. They're gone forever.
Damn.
We can't go. They're probably still in gas stations everywhere, but no one's actually gone to check. If you have any Choco Tacos, send them to hairthedogcast@gmail.com. Send us your Chocos. Yes. Number 3. Now, this game is a beloved classic. McDonald's Treasure Land Adventure.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Big fan. I probably beat it like 70 or 80 times, maybe 1,000.
I love it so much I never even played it.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to. I didn't feel like I was good enough.
Well,
I didn't want to tarnish it.
I actually have played a lot of MC Kids, which that's a McDonald's themed game on the Nintendo. My brother and I used to play the fuck out of that game. But no, this is the Treasure Land Adventure. This game had a secret for 30 years. It experienced a troubled development process. The team was repeatedly asked to revise aspects of the game and put under significant stress by corporate overlords. Twitter user @NewCheatsNews delved into the game's code to find this trick, which involved putting in a specific password and then some hidden controller commands. The 2D sprite of the McDonald's signs transforms into a 3D model and rotates about in space with some terrifying fucking music. I will actually look this up. But yeah, the programmer behind it has said there's still something in there. Like, no one's found it yet. But also, maybe just people, have like one person, the guy's like, I'm not doing it. I'm the whole community and I'm not looking this up. But yeah, Treasure Land Adventure Secret. You just got to hear this music because it's so good. What the hell? That clown's on acid.
It's almost hypnotizing.
Imagine accidentally doing this and be like, Mom, my Nintendo.
30 years ago, Satanic Panic was still a thing, right?
Oh, Satan's always in our hearts.
So, like, that would have been right on the list. Yeah. It would have been like...
Ozzy would be covering it.
Yeah. He'd play that before he came on stage at his concerts, for sure.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
I like to think that Ronald McDonald, the clown, was just kind of like walking around like with an iron fist, like, fucking fix the game for the 14th time.
I want it now.
I want it now. We got to do better than Burger King.
Yeah.
They're laughing at us. And then the developers just had enough and they're like, we're going to put you on the list somewhere.
I don't know if there was a lot of fast food games. That is a topic I want to do at some point. Fast food video games. I know there's Burger King in this 360 era, but as far as earlier than that,
I have the
McDonald's
Burger King game.
McDonald's did a lot.
Yeah, they used to have the N64s right in there, and all the controllers would be sticky and buttons would stick.
Covered in ketchup.
Yeah.
Real good. Real good.
Yeah. Bunch of snotty-nosed 5-year-olds trying to play Mario.
Or 30-year-olds trying to play Mario.
Yeah, true.
Snotty noses.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for people that, they make a big Punch-Out book and they're like, this is everything. And then like a year later, it's like, sorry, we found more. I just did it.
We just published.
All right. Well, that was number 3. And
that's-
we're at 30 years.
Yeah, so these secrets are older than I am now.
This next one is the same age as me. Gumball for the Apple II, 33 years. Game release in 1983. And for the Apple II and other early PCs, it was never popular. For 33 years, it held a secret that was discovered this week by anonymous crackers. I don't know if they mean white people or computer people that look at codes, but they say crackers.
Or saltines.
Oh, yeah, man. By anonymous saltines who not only hacked their way through incredibly advanced copyright protection, but also became the first people to discover an Easter egg hidden by the game's creator, Robert A. Cook. Best of all, Cook congratulated them Friday for their work. So I think it's just like a message like, hey, here's my secret.
You found an Easter egg.
And you probably didn't get laid for finding that secret. I don't know if anything cool happened.
I imagine it's probably like when Dwight and Jim throw Kelly's birthday party and Dwight just puts a sign up that says, it is your birthday period. It's just like, you can find text that says, this is an Easter egg period.
Here's the secret room.
Congratulations.
You found it. And for many lists, Gumball was the longest kept secret that I could find. But
We have one.
there's number 1.
But one was made in secret.
One.
One,
And many things were learned that could not be undone.
yes.
And many things that were forgotten were lost. Trials Evolution, 101 years.
What?
What does it mean, though? What does it mean when I say that?
It means nothing.
Wow.
101 years?
101 years. So, Trials, have you played those Trials games? They're pretty fun. They're like those little physics motorcycles games.
Yeah, those were so good.
Yep. Hints in Trials Evolution in the game lead to a code. And eventually, this code was deciphered and it unlocked a song. And this song, I'll look that up. No, it's actually not that good of a song. Maybe I'll put it in for the guests, the audience. But this song says you're on the path, like you're on the secret, but you won't be able to see the secret just with like through listening. You actually have to like change how you view music or something like that. And then they went in with spectral analysis showing a Morse code in the game. This Morse code led to a website, and this website had images updated every day starting April 2013. Somebody realized that all the symbols together was related to a scientist whose name was deciphered into the English alphabet. This is all intentional too. Like this is something that they planned. This is something. Another puzzle was solved, and it led to 4 locations in the real world: Helsinki, San Francisco, Sydney, and I forget where the other one was. But yeah, real GPS coordinates in 4 major cities. And it described like kind of where you'd find it, like under the bridge by this, go there. And I was reading the guy in Sydney who found it. And he's like, I live close by. I can go check it out. And he was on the message boards. And we got there at like 9:30, and he's just under a bridge. And he pulls apart like a little brick, kind of like in Shawshank Redemption, finds a little treasure chest. And he opens this cute little treasure chest, and it's got a key. And it says...
Jesus Christ, it just keeps going.
Yeah. What is it? What does it say? Midday in the year 2113, first Saturday in August, one of 5 keys will open the box underneath the Eiffel Tower. And so that was found in Sydney and San Francisco and the other city. But the 4th box was located in Helsinki, contained actual 300-year-old documents pertaining to a land sale of French property in the 1700s.
What in the fucking Nicolas Cage ass movie are we talking about?
It's great, right?
That's insane.
Yeah, it contained real 300-year-old documents, and it contained the phrase, today, 25th of April, 1,740 before midday or noon. And the Helsinki box also included a map. This map led to a cemetery with another box. This one containing an antique pocket watch from 1916, as well as a key and that same phrase. Midday in the year 2113, the first Saturday in August, one of 5 keys will open the box underneath the Eiffel Tower.
All right, so I'm telling my grandkids this story and my grandkids' grandkids.
We're going to be dead.
Yeah.
We won't know how this happens.
Damn.
Probably. I mean, 2113, we'd have to get lucky. I mean, with how much shit we put in our bodies these days, I don't think we're going to make it that long.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make it that long.
No, that'd be old. But Fat Shady actually interviewed Red Lynx's Antti Ilvesuo, not his pronunciation. That's not right. That's what,
Well, we're running with it.
Finland. That language is hard. But they were under the Eiffel Tower for an interview. The developer stated, in no uncertain terms, he has made arrangements for the key holders to receive something special in that spot 2113. The key holders are all supposed to show up there, and he has made sure that something happens at that exact time for people with the keys. And he says, that's no joke, before clarifying that this particular riddle won't be implemented in future games, but who knows about other riddles.
That's a lot of work to go into.
And this is what we know so far, but also the phrase on the boxes said one of 5 keys will open the box.
And there's only 4 cities.
Well, we only have 4 keys so far. We don't know if there's something else, but also there's an achievement in the game, the 5th key, which you get by doing, I forget what it is, but they think the 5th key might be like hidden in the achievements or something to do with the game. We don't know. This is the most up-to-date thing I got. So we can say this is the longest secret because it is 101 years. We know how long it'll be, but
It's actually like closer to 400 or something years if you count the documents.
but those weren't involved. Those were like, I mean, they're involved, but that wasn't someone in the 1700s like, I bet there'll be a game about a motorcycle.
Before they even existed.
Yeah.
There's going to be a game where you can do flips on a horse. It's gonna
Print
be
it. Yeah. So that's pretty crazy.
Well, you know what's going to be in the box.
No.
The box is going to be empty. It's going to open. You're going
And
to
it's
open
going to
it.
say it's a mirror in there.
It's the friendship.
It's a friendship.
It's the friendship thing.
It was you guys the whole time.
Yeah.
That was the treasure.
Yep.
That's crazy though. Like the people that found the keys also have to just be like, and in my will, I give the key from Trials Evolutions to my son Timothy.
There's gonna we're gonna have a movie where like Nicolas Cage steals the keys.
Well, dude, and this is at 2113. Someone's gonna go there. Like they're gonna be there.
I mean, they better.
And it's like kind of with the Back to the Future where you can set up a delivery for a certain time, like 100 years in the future. So they did that. Like this is happening. But
Well, technically, we don't have to wait that long. We just got to find out where that fucking box is because it exists now. Hope maybe. Well, no. What if he's commissioning someone in the future to do it?
I wonder what it is. I mean, I don't think it'll be anything groundbreaking, but just imagine getting GPS coordinates from an ARG game and you go and find a little treasure chest under a bridge. Like that's pretty cool.
That's life altering. Now it literally was like I have to leave this to my kids. What if the box is just a copy of the game?
It's a download code for a 360 game.
Yeah.
Enjoy your free copy of the game you've been playing for over 100 years. Well, it's fun and it's brilliant, but it's also like, why are you just making motorcycle games? But I guess that's cool.
It's a fun game.
It's a cool game. It's just weird that it has that level of an ARG attached to it, an augmented reality game. Like it's crazy that that much is going on in the background.
I wonder what Sydney guy was thinking too when he's like, I found a fucking key. Like that's wild.
Well, at that point, I would be obsessed with getting to San Francisco. If I was on the message boards, it'd be like, I think I should take work off and go there. Because if there's only there's only 4 keys, and if I don't get it, someone else will.
Yeah, so then whoever opens the box gets ownership of what's in the box.
Then you're the key holder.
Yeah.
But imagine if there was espionage. Maybe there's a missing key. The 5th key might have been in Mar-a-Lago.
Oh man, Trump, that bastard, he had it this whole time.
Yeah, I have the best keys. Man, it is crazy to me how much is going on in the world right now, and people just aren't talking about it.
I just want it to stop.
Yeah,
I just stop.
Well, you have to rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. Can I get a week of no news?
Yeah, there's just too much going on.
Like, don't withhold the news.
First Hogwarts Legacy, now this.
God damn it. No, I want. Maybe it was always fucked up when we were just kids. We didn't realize.
It's just social media and the pervasive nature. I mean, it's worse now, but there was always shit that
You just didn't hear about it.
you just didn't hear about it.
Yeah. I deleted Facebook for a reason. I didn't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Let me live in blind, blissful ignorance for the rest of my life.
But if you have Facebook, you want to reach out to the Hair of the Dogcast, you most definitely should, because we are on there. We're on Instagram, Hair of the Dogcast. We're on Twitter at Hot Dogcast. Did we get any of these secrets wrong? Maybe a little bit. And we want you to tell us why. Because you guys are not only listeners, but you're also as professional as we are. And we appreciate you for joining us on our journey that took us to Helsinki and to the Eiffel Tower when we are old men. And we're going to be the only ones that remember. No, none of the key holders showed like, we didn't care. It's for a fucking Xbox game. Like, it was exciting for the first 20 years, but we quit caring after a while.
If you don't have the key...
I had a grandkid this week. I don't know.
If you don't have the key, just pull out your laser pistol and shoot the lock off.
Ooh. That's more of a laser sound. We do exist because of people like you, all jokes aside. So if you do have a chance to write a review or just tell your friends about us, that'd be great. We have access to a lot of bonus episodes, bonus content, access to episodes early. This is all for available as low as $3 on patreon.com/hairthedogcast. We'd really appreciate it if you checked it out and join us on Discord where all the fun is. And yes, if you want access to blah, 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 I did that part. Executive producers Ryan Christianick, Tyler Keller, Kip, Brian Ward, and Katie Bone, thank you so much for your support. And yes, we are part of the HyperX Podcast Network. For more information, check out podcast.hyperx.com. Upcoming episode topic next week on our main feed, you'll be getting Elden Dogs. We're going into Ray Lucaria. It's weird to say it because we recorded that episode like 2 months ago. It's available to the Patreon members, but
I was confused for a second. I'm like, I think we've been there.
But they're going to join us next week. Otherwise, we're going to be discussing, for Patreon people, we're going to be discussing Radon and the rest of Caelid. Caelid 19, as they call it. So, that's all I got. We did it.
Yay.
We did it.
The hangover's starting to go away.
Do you have any secrets?
Yeah, but we'll have to edit those out.
Okay.
No, I don't have any secrets.
No. You have one secret about something you learned today, but we can't talk about that on the podcast yet.
Oh, yeah, no, we can't.
No.
Yeah, that's a secret.
Yep.
Do you got a one for the road?
One for the road.
Because I got mine locked and loaded, ready to go.
You go for it.
It's another podcast, if you like true crime podcasts, which I do a lot.
Okay.
It's called Small Town Murder.
Okay.
And they got like a fuck ton of episodes. I just discovered them because one of my coworkers suggested it after I listened to a...
Carly and I have seen them before.
They're going to be in Milwaukee next month.
Yeah.
At the Pabst.
The tickets, all the good seats were sold out very quick.
Yeah. They are really funny though. And it's a nice... I like long podcasts sometimes for those car rides. And I just drove up to the UP, so I crushed a few episodes.
What I like the most, controversially, I don't like the murder talk. I like them just talking, going to Wikipedia pages and talking about little cities and towns.
The review part is definitely the highlight.
I love that stuff.
They do like a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1 star. So you get 5 reviews on a city, and then they just roast it.
Yeah.
But I do like the murder talk because I'm a big true crime fan.
And my one for the road, drinking responsibly. And if not, have the next day to sleep.
Yeah.
Because we went for it yesterday.
That was a full send.
And we always do our after show, Doggies After Dark, for our Patreon pals. And we did that last night. We don't know what was on there.
I have no memory of the episode.
And I'm very excited to just release it. And we'll see what happens. But
It's going to be weird.
so yeah, if you're gonna go hard, make sure Devin's driving, and then you can
Thank
go
you,
as hard
Devin.
as you want. Thank you, Devin. And yeah, that's it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been Air the Dogcast. Bye bye.
I'm going to bed.
Class is back in session, and HyperX has the grade A gear you need for dorm life, remote classes, and for schooling folks online. Shop the HyperX back to school deals going on at HyperX.com to help make your return to student life a breeze. Comfortable cloud headsets can help keep you focused in as you cram for finals with some lo-fi beats and stay productive with lightweight pulse-fire mice, responsive alloy keyboards, and more. Keep your GPA and your KDA high with HyperX products and accessories.